everyone, and welcome back to my channel, To Your Taste. Today, y'all, it is Friday. Happy Friday. I hope you had an amazing week. It is cold outside, and I felt like making another soup. So I decided I am going to make my famous potato and ham soup. And I am using ham steak, Smithfield ham steak that I diced up, y'all, which is here. This is what I have. Alright everyone, so I have 5 cups of ham in that bowl. Also you will need 2 celery sticks that has been diced, 1 large onion that has been diced, 3 carrots that has been diced as well, y'all, and I just did it like this, kind of fine. Also you need some potatoes. This is about 7 cups of potatoes that I diced up pretty into medium size, and I put it in salted water so it would not get brown. You would need some salt, which I have here, heavy whipping cream. Look, if y'all don't want to use that and you want to just use milk, you can do that as well, but hey, why not just go and get the full fat in there, right? Also you would need some pepper and chicken broth. We need about 8 cups of chicken broth, so this is 32 ounces each, and this is fat from the ham. I'm going to render off, meaning I'm going to put that in my pan that has a tablespoon of olive oil, and I'm going to sear up some of that fat. I'm not going to add it to my soup, but I just want the flavor from that fat. So, and also, y'all, to remind you, don't forget to look at that stuffed pepper soup that I did. Y'all, it was so good. If you haven't watched that video, go ahead and look at it and like it. I'm telling y'all, it's delicious. It's easy. It's a one-pot meal like this is as well. There's nothing else to say. It's delicious. I have nothing left after making that soup. This here, y'all, will serve about 10 to 12 people. So it's a big amount. All right, so let's head over to our stove and get started. Oh, before I do that, I just want to show you how I cut my carrots. Alright everyone, so I'm just going to show you how I cut up my carrot. Y'all, don't worry about the knife. It's just a little bit of the fat on there. So, I actually cut my carrot. This is a whole carrot. I cut it down the middle. And then, I get this one. And I cut that one down the middle as well. Like so. And I just cut it like that. It doesn't have to be really finely diced. I am adding carrots to this so that I could get some color in it, right? Because you have in the ham, you have the potatoes, just to put a burst of color in it. That's why I'm adding the carrots. But you can omit that out if you want to, or if you want to add in some green beans or some peas, you could do that as well. All right, so I'm just going to cut up the last one, and then we're going to get started. All right, everyone, so my oil's ready. Maybe a little bit too ready, but that's ready. We're throwing that fat. And we're just going to cook this and render it down, and you can get some flavor of that fat into our soup. Like I said, I'm not going to include those chunks of it, but just to get that flavor in it. Alright y'all, y'all see how that fat is, if I can get it, y'all, I'm sorry. It's turning brown. This is how you want it to look. I'm just going to cook it for a little bit more. I'm going to remove it from my pan. And then we're going to add in our carrots, onions, and celery. Alright y'all, the ham is done. I'm sorry, I still got a cough going on. The ham is done, and there's only little pieces of ham that's left in there. We're going to go ahead and add in our carrots here, and our celery and our onions. And you're just going to cook this down for about 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. Not until it's tender, because we're going to add in, we are going to add in our chicken broth and the ham and the potato. Make sure you drain off those potatoes as well. And then scrape that bottom as well to get all those brown bits off from the ham, the fatty pieces of the ham that we seared. Okay everyone, so the carrots and the onions has been slightly cooking. We're going to go ahead and add in our ham, which I have here. Pour that in there. And make sure you have a good soup pot. I'm going to stir that around. Oh, that's not hot. And then we're going to add in our potatoes. We're going to stir that around. And then we're going to add in the chicken broth, y'all. Okay, y'all. So we have our potatoes, the carrots, the celery, the onions, and the ham in here. We're going to add in the chicken broth. Put that in here. So we're adding in 8 cups of the chicken broth. Alright, y'all. This is the last of the chicken broth. We're going to let this cook for 15 to 20 minutes or until the potatoes are tender. Once they are tender, we're going to add the cream and like a little flour slurry to it to thicken it up a little bit. But y'all, this smells good. It smells good. It's okay. Look at that, y'all. With the ham and the thing. Sorry, y'all, my aunts with me. With the ham and the carrots and stuff. Like I said, we're going to cook this for 15 to 20 minutes until the potatoes are tender. And then we're going to add in the cream and the flour slurry. All right, everyone, I'm sorry. I just got into a coughing fit, so I had to pause it. We're going to, like I said, we're going to cook this until the potatoes are tender. But you want to bring your excuse me, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I can't get over the cough. You want to bring your pot to a boil. All right. Once it comes to a boil, you want to turn your pot down to a simmer and let it simmer for 20 minutes. Okay. So I'm ready for it to come to a boil, and then I'm going to put it on simmer. Okay, everyone. So my soup is starting to boil. So I'm just going to turn this down and cook this until those potatoes are tender. So let me turn it down. I'm going to turn it down a little below medium. And we're going to let it cook. You do not have to cover this up. Alright, so don't cover it up. Just let it cook as it is. And just keep checking to make sure that those potatoes, make sure it's fork tender. You don't want them to be too mushy, but just enough that it can pierce it in and it's not going to be all crunchy when you eat it. Alright, everyone. So this is done. My potatoes are done. I just want to show you. I'll grab some here and show you if y'all can see that. And like I said, you want it to be fork tender, and like how easy it went in there. That's how you want your potatoes to be. I'm just going to cover this up and move it to the side, and I'm going to show you how I make, it's almost like a roux for this. It's going to come out so good. It's going to bring in an extra level of flavor to your soup. All right, so let me just move this over to the side and I'll be back. All right, y'all, so I have 10 tablespoons of butter melted into this skillet here, or this pan here. So you need a stick, which is 8 tablespoons, and then 2 additional tablespoons of butter. And we're going to add in a cup of flour, so you can put that in there. And we're just going to stir that around and cook that flour. And then until it kind of gets like a golden brown, make sure you just cook the flour. And then we're going to add in our heavy cream. Okay, everyone, so you just want it to be like golden brown as it is, like a golden color, not brown. I'm adding in a cup at a time, and you're just going to stir it as you add it in your heavy cream or your milk or whatever you decide to add to it. And just keep stirring it. Alright. So that was a cup. We're using a total of 4 cups to this. So now, y'all, I'm just going to kind of add a little bit here and continue to stir it. So the first cup, put it in there. But just stir it and stir it and stir it until you get all those clumps out. You don't want no clumps in there. And we're just going to add our soup, or add this mixture to the soup. And then do it again. Once we add this to the soup, we're going to add in the salt and the pepper. So it'll be all nice and seasoned. But this is just going to thicken up our soup. Look at that, how thick that is. So we're going to add a little bit more. And keep stirring it. And this is the roux that we're making. So I still have a little bit more in my measuring cup here. I'm just going to add it. All right. That's it. So, excuse me. We're just going to get this cooked until there's no more lumps in it. So we're going to cook it for about 5 or 6 minutes, continuously stirring it. And stir from the bottom, y'all, so it won't burn. And then that's it. That'll be it to this potato ham soup. Look at that. All right, everyone. So I decided to do it a little different because as far as putting in here, I'm going to put a little bit of my soup broth in here because I'm going to put the soup in this pan. I don't think it's going to fit all in that pan I have it in. So we're just going to stir this up here like so. But if you have a bigger soup pan, then you could just go ahead and put this whole mixture into your soup. So I'm going to continue to do this, and then I will be back with the finished product. All right, y'all. This is how the soup looks here. Nice and creamy. And you could add some cheese to this if you want to at this point. You could actually skip this step too if you don't want to add, do the almost like a roux. You could skip that. You don't have to do that. And you could just have it, just look like soup. So I'm just going to grab some cheese out of the refrigerator. We're going to add our salt and pepper in this. Add a little bit of cheese. And we're going to put this in a bowl. Alright, y'all. So we're just going to add just a little bit of cheese to this to have here. This is about a handful or so. Handful or two. I'm going to say 2 handfuls. Put that in there. And you're just going to stir this up until that cheese gets nice and melted. And then we're going to add in our seasoning into this. And yeah, you can also put cheese on in each individual bowl if you want to. Alright, so let's add our pepper to this. Is it coming out? Ugh. You add I'm gonna be careful with the salt, y'all, because that ham was kind of salty, so I'm not gonna put too much salt in here. I'm gonna stir this up. Look at that. You see how nice and pretty that is? And you see why I add the carrots to it? To get that pop of color to it. Alright, y'all, so this is done. Let me grab a bowl. And we're going to finish up this video. Alright, y'all. The soup is done. Put a little bit of these green onions on here. Make it look pretty. Look at that. Look how delicious this soup looks. Look, y'all. So, y'all, I actually tried some of this broth in here. The roux, it is so good. I'm about to try it again because it just felt real good since I'm trying to get over this cold. Oh my God. Y'all, that's so good. Try this out. It's really good. And with the roux, just make sure you have a bigger pan. And I should have done that in the beginning, but I was just trying to do it. I was thinking that it would fit in there, but as I was looking at that pan I originally had with the soup in there and then the roux, I just thought, okay, it's not going to fit, so I'm just going to put it in the same pan that made my roux. Yeah, so this is it for now. Make sure you hit that like button. Try this out. The recipe will be in the description tab. It's delicious. It's creamy. It's like salty sweet, from the ham. Make sure you just be cautious of how much salt you put in there if you do choose to use the ham steak. Alright, so that's it for now. Hit that like button. Y'all be safe. God bless and be safe. Bye.